Hey y'all, it's Leslie with Fat Cat Flossing, back for another FlossTube. I think this is number 47, maybe. Today is Friday, August 17th, and I should be doing other stuff, but it's raining absolutely cats and dogs, which is great because, you know, we can always use the rain, and thank God it's cooled things down a little bit. And you may hear the thunder. And we're going to hope that my electricity doesn't go off, because this is losing the electric more than any place I've ever been. And I am so sorry that the light looks like it is doing funky things, so bear with me. Anyway, thanks for coming back to visit. Y'all want to talk about some cross stitch? I got something to talk about. Thanks again for coming back to watch. If you're new to my channel, I sure appreciate you doing this. And if you're a returning visitor, thanks again for coming back to chat about cross stitch and share the crazy with me. And y'all excuse me 1 second while I get a kitty off my computer. Pooey, get down. Get down. Yeah, that worked well, didn't it? Anyway, moving right along. We'll hope that that's the worst of the chaos, because I'm here in the office. Like I said, it is raining cats and dogs outside. I've got all 3 dogs in here with me, and I have half the cats in the house in here because, you know, they want to follow me around and go wherever I go. I know somebody's going to ask, so I will just go ahead and show y'all. This is Ori, my stud boy, lounging there. And yes, he is caged. Stud boys have to be caged for a couple of reasons. Number one, I have to be able to control who breeds who when, because he can't just knock up every girl in the house all at once. I don't let my girls have more than 1 litter a year. So he is caged, but he is such a mama's boy that I decided putting him in a cage here in the craft room, where I spend a fair amount of time, was a better solution than putting him out in the shed, which was intended to be my stud room. But I would, you know, I wouldn't be able to spend as much time out there. So, and typically when I'm in here, like at the sewing machine or in the mornings when I come in here or whatever, he gets out of the cage and he gets to run around, and he jumps up here on the desk and has cuddles with me. And, but I've got, you know, the other cats in here, and again, I have to be able to control who he breeds when. So he's locked up. He actually likes his cage. I mean, if I open the doors, you know, I shut the door to the craft room, open the door to his cage, he comes out and he'll say hi to me, and then a lot of times he just jumps back up in there to lay. He actually likes it in there. I think he feels like it's his space. But anyway, so moving along. So when you see the cage, it's okay. He's happy. He's well loved. He gets lots and lots of attention. So let's see. Thank you everybody for your really kind comments on last week's video. Thank you so much. I am feeling much better. I've got my usual level of, just don't want to do a whole lot, but I no longer feel like I've been drugged behind a truck for a mile. So thank you all for your nice comments and kind good wishes. I appreciate those. Like I said, it's raining. We've had, I don't know how much we've had today, but as of yesterday, we had almost 11 inches over the past week, which is great because it was getting a little dry. And it hasn't come down, at least here in Mulberry, hasn't come down in such torrential deluge that it has caused flash flooding here. Now, some parts of Arkansas have had some flash flooding, but we've been lucky. There were 2 separate days that we got 5 inches at a time. But again, it was over a period of hours, so it didn't create a problem, thank the Lord. And it's been wonderful because the average temperatures, the highs have been in the anywhere from the low 80s up to 90-ish. Yesterday got hot. It got up to about like 96 yesterday, but that was the highest temp all week. And today it's supposed to get up later this afternoon to like 92 or 93, but you know, that's okay. It's not 100 plus. I can deal. So again, I don't know how much we've gotten today, but it is still bucketing down. But again, it's all right. I'm supposed to be out running errands, but I didn't want to fight the rain, so here I sit. My errand's yet to be done. Anyway, glad it's cooler. Tomorrow we are going up to Fayetteville, which is slightly over an hour north of us up into West Arkansas. Fayetteville is where the University of Arkansas is. So my husband always loves going up there because, you know, he's a rabid Razorback. The reason we're going is one of the big things that we missed about Texas is fresh produce. Because we lived in Victoria, which is South Texas. We were very close, you know, about 3 hours from the valley. And we always got great fresh produce. Here, not so much. But there's a place in Fayetteville called Fresh Market that Steve really wants to try out. So I'm hoping that we will get some good produce up there. Fingers crossed. And then because it's a college town, I'm excited to go do a little bit of thrifting because it's been my experience that college towns frequently have some of the best thrift stores. So we'll see if that holds true. Okay, y'all want to talk about stitching? Let's do it. I have another finish this week, and I am so blooming glad to be done with this. I can't see straight. Da 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 da! I am done with Sally Spencer by Birds of a Feather. This was a stitch along that I think most folks started. I started on May 5th. I think the official start date for the was maybe May 1st. But regardless, I'm done with this puppy. And I apologize for the light in here. It's terrible, but it's better than it is in the dining room right now. So this is Sally Spencer. Guess I should put something behind her. And I'm planning to frame this and put it in my living room. And I'm sorry I haven't ironed it yet. I did decide to go ahead and put my name on it. And then I have added all around it the initials that I know of folks who participated in the SAL. I love the way this looks. I have to tell you, this is not something that I particularly loved stitching. This is not one that I just thought, oh, I can't wait to get back to that one. Part of it was these dadgum letters. I don't know what it was about them. I usually don't mind stitching letters. These I did not particularly enjoy, but I am very glad to be done with it. And as always, you know, a SAL's fun. So anyway, yay, I'm finished. And I've got a big stack of crap on my desk, so y'all excuse me while I toss this over to the sewing table. So that was my only finish this week. I thought I might have a second one, but I just didn't get there. I tried, but I did not have it happen. This is My Heart is True. And this is one of the little kits from Krynic. It's designed by Gail Bussi, and it came in like the little CD jewel case looking thing. Came with the silks. And you know, I love stitching with silk. Oops, I don't want to show you the pattern. I want to show you the actual stitched piece. And I thought I was going to possibly get done with this week, this week, but it just didn't happen. But I got a fair amount done. I just cannot remember to put something behind it, can I? My Heart is True. I got, I had the Is True done. I did the checkerboard heart, the lettering at the top, the 2 rows of specialty stitches. One I think is Smyrna crosses and the other one is satin stitch. And then I started a little bit on the border where I just had some leftover thread. So I do not have a whole lot more left to do on this. Ha, that's what I thought before. I've still got to do this heart, this row of hearts and flowers down here, the border obviously, and then this little bit of floral stuff up here. But it's doable. I can get it done. I'm gonna get it done. I would like to get it done this week. We'll see. We'll see. It's on 40 count. I find that I do my best 40 count stitching during the day when there is some natural light. And I do have an aught light and use that and a magnifier. But again, during the, you know, if I get some stitching time during the afternoon, the 40 count seems to be a little bit easier for me then rather than at night. And I'm a little bit slower on that, on the 40 count than I am on a lot of things because I sew in hand or stitch in hand and I use the sewing method. And on 40 count, I have to stab and pull and stab and pull. So I'm a little bit slower, which is why I think I'm going to stick to 36 count. Everybody's been doing Arbitrary August, and I love the little color wheel thing that everybody's been doing. I can't remember the name of it right now. But I think that looks like a lot of fun. I haven't actually downloaded the app and done that for the simple reason that I'm kind of an arbitrary stitcher all the time. I just, you know, I have my basket of whips that typically sits on the couch next to where I sit, and I just pull out what I want to stitch on at any given time. And so this week I happened to pull out Mademoiselle Rose by Jardin Prive. This is a pattern that Michelle Garrett, Bendy Stitchy, was kind enough to share with me several months back, and I started her as a mania start. Now I am doing my own color conversion on her. I'm using all DMC floss, but I did change some of the colors. And if anybody's interested in that, I'm happy to share. This is a 28 count cashel linen. The color is Lavender Mist. I don't remember who it's by. This is linen that I bought back in probably the early 90s because I bought it at a little shop in Victoria. So I'm not even sure it's still available. But I had her bodice and I think this arm done. And so she's now got most of her face and her shoulders and her other arm. And I've done a couple more lines on the tutu down here. But anyway, I made a little bit of progress on Miss Rose. And this is another one that I would like to have done sooner rather than later also, because I have also promised to pass the stash on that chart. Kind of keep that going, pay it forward kind of thing. And then last Sunday, the 12th, was, pardon me, Christine from Stitch All the Things and Sarah from Stitchology are hosting a sale for Peace on Earth. And Peace on Earth is I downloaded the PDF. It's from Cottage Garden Samplings, and you can find it at her shop on Etsy. It was also in the other colorway, which is a tan, I think, colorway. That was in one of the magazines. I don't remember which one. But on Sunday, which was the kickoff day for the sale, I did get a start. And on Sunday, I got the bricks. I think I finished the bricks on Sunday. And the roof. Well, not finished. There's still some to fill in, but I got that done. And then I worked on this one other day this week. I don't remember which day it was now. But I've started the other side of the building and a little bit of that border at the back. And I typically, when I buy my linen, prefer God, the light is so bad, y'all. I'm sorry. Prefer at least a 2-inch border. I don't know if I managed to start this off center because I'm a center starter, or I just didn't figure it up right. But I'm only going to have about probably 1.5 inch border down here at the bottom, and probably on this side. Now we'll see if I start it off center. I may have more border at the top and on this other side, but this is going to have to end up, it's probably a flat fold or maybe a little pillow, because I don't think I left myself enough linen to frame it. But that's okay, because I can't frame everything anyway. But I've really been enjoying this one so far. And these are my own colors. I pulled DMC and Victorian motto from my stash. And again, if anybody is interested in that color conversion, I'm always happy to share. Well, I didn't convert all the colors. I didn't convert the DMC. Just converted some of it to Victorian motto. Does that make sense? I don't usually make sense. All right. And then on Instagram this week, Michelle was commenting about the Stitchy wish list tag. And one of the charts that she had in her Stitchy wish list was a wicked plant from Barbara Anna. And I have been toying with the idea of starting this anyway. So I went ahead and pulled it out and got a start, because I told Michelle that when I was done with it, I would send it on to her. So I started this yesterday. I don't have a whole lot done. I got a couple of the flowers in the middle and a little bit of the vine done. Now, I am changing some of the colors on this because this is a fairly monochromatic pattern. There's a little bit of color, but not much. So I have brightened up some of the colors of like some of these berries in here, and I'm going to do the pumpkin in orange. And then this is a piece of the linen. This is a fat eighth of the spider veins that I got from Teresa Vinette Kitten Stitcher. On this particular linen, a couple of the called for colors were not going to show up. So I have also changed some of those to darken them up a little bit and make them where I hope that we'll be able to see them. So anyway, I've got it started, Michelle. I'm working on it. Probably won't get to you for this Halloween, but as soon as I can get it done, I'll send it on. And then I know Michelle will also pass the stash on. Because, you know, I think we should all keep it going. Pass it around. So that's everything that I have worked on this week. Which is okay. I mean, I got some stitching done. Not a horrendous amount, but I did stitch, I think, every day this week. What else? Haul. I have very little haul because I decided I have to get back to doing some stitching from stash. I went a little bit buggy over birthday time and spent a lot of money. I mean, I had some birthday money, but I spent probably more than I should have. But I am going to be better and try to basically stitch from stash the rest of the year. So I did pretty good the first part of the year, and then I really fell off that wagon hard. But my only haul this week is my monthly subscription from Victorian Motto Sampler Threads. Several folks have already shown these. They are beautiful, beautiful colors. I'm not going to take them out and show them if y'all have seen them already. But again, Nancy does a terrific job. I'm very, very happy with her. I will show one. I don't know if y'all can see because my lighting is so terrible today. This orange is not my favorite color. But this one is a really pretty orange, and the variegation in this is just fabulous. So anyway, that was all my haul. Okay. I am planning to start, I guess I should move this stuff because I'm going to need to get to that. Hold, please. Oh, well, close. Okay. I'm planning to start Lady of the Flag, like a lot of folks, on September 11th. And I've got her partially kitted up. That's one of the other things I'm going to do this weekend is grab the rest of my DMC for that. And I'm going to stitch her on the 30 count preamble Constitution fabric from Isabel with the Primitive Hair. Now, I typically stitch in hand, but I don't like to bead in hand. I find beading to be problematic if I don't have it on a frame. And I haven't put anything in a frame in years and years and years. So, because I figured I needed to frame, I went out to my shed, went digging through all my things, and found this box. And see, it says large stitchy frame. So, opened that box, which by the way is dusty as hell, and pulled out this, which is loaded with a piece of Aida that I need to take off of it because I won't stitch on it. And held my Constitution fabric up to that and went, nope, that's not big enough. Oh well. Then I pulled out my large scroll frame. I haven't measured, but I do think it will fit on this one. I haven't stitched with this puppy in years. Now, you will see it has something on it. This is a Mirabilia. I can't remember her name. Pretty sure it's the Sleeping Princess one. Where she's in the bed, I think. Can't remember the name. And can't find the pattern. I looked through my patterns because I thought, well, I'll typically stitch on Aida, but maybe I should try to finish that because it's a decent start. But I have no idea what I've done with the pattern. I mean, I would have done this back 97, 98, maybe, something like that. 20 years ago, at least. But it's a decent start, and if I could have found the pattern, I would have probably made an attempt to finish her up. But I can't, and I'm probably not going to buy it again. So, I'm going to take this piece of Aida off of here, and give it away. It's a big ass piece of Aida, and it's in a very soft pale greenish bluish color. I don't know what the color name is. I mean, I've slept since then. Anyway, I'm happy to send this to somebody. If you would like to have this piece of Aida with the stitching on it, because I'm not going to rip it out, you could, good Lord, I've got like 4 needles in the periphery over here. You could either rip it out and reuse the Aida, or you could, if you have that pattern, you could continue stitching from where I was. So if you would like to have this, just tell me I'd like the Aida. And I will probably take this piece also and send, and this one has nothing on it as far as I know, and send both pieces of Aida. And I don't know the size of that one. This one is going to be, I bet it's a fat half. I don't know for sure, but I'm almost sure that that's probably a fat half of Aida, because it's a big piece of linen, or big piece of Aida. So if you'd like to have this, just comment and say, I'd like to have the Aida, and I'm going to take these off of these frames, and I'll send you the Aida. I'll do that by the random comment picker on my next video. Also in that box, I bought these for, I don't remember now, 2 little button packs, a winter one and a flower one. And I have no earthly idea what they were for anymore. But I'll add those back to my stash, because I'm hopefully still have the patterns for whatever they were for, and then I'll have them. And then the last thing I found in that box, and I remember packing this up. This is a poster that I had framed and in my office when I was a nurse manager. And it's a bunch of sayings, things like love yourself and everything else falls into line. If you think you can, you can't. And if you think you can't, you're right. My favorite, what you eat standing up doesn't count. Anyway, when we were moving from San Antonio to Victoria, which was late 2003, I remember this frame getting, the glass in this frame, and the frame, I think, got dropped, being taken off the wall to pack it up, and it got broken. But I love the poster so much that I kept it. So I don't know that I'm going to reframe it, but what I am going to do is I'm probably going to take a couple of those quotes that I just love and maybe cross stitch them onto something, because there's several on there that really speak to me. Whoops. For instance, never economize on luxuries. Or if you obey all the rules, you miss all the fun. I like that one too. So anyway, that was a fun little find in that box of stuff, because I really thought only the big frame was in there. But there was some other stuff. So anyway, back to Lady of the Flag, and now I'm really, really dusty. That stitch along starts on September 11th, and Jackie Campbell with Cross My Stitches is doing a giveaway, I think, for a copy of the pattern itself. The hashtag for that, I think, is Lady Liberty Sal, I think. But I don't remember right now. I didn't think to write it down, but I will put it in the show notes. But we'll be hashtagging that on Instagram, and I think Jackie has already, either has already created a Facebook page or is going to create a Facebook page, and I will look that up, and I will also put that information in the show notes for you. But that's my plan, is to start that on September 11th. The other thing I'm planning to do is on September 1st, like half of everybody else in the world, I'm planning to start 'Tis the Season by Blackbird Designs. On my last video, I commented that Ann Thompson, who is the proprietor of the Shepherd's Needle in Little Rock, did that piece several years ago. It's a model in her shop, and it is just gorgeous. And Ann changed the wording at the bottom of it to, I think it says, "Sing praises to our Savior." It's beautiful. That's probably what I'm going to put on mine instead of how it's charted in the original pattern. But Ann has been generous enough to offer to share that pattern with folks, or the, the change, the pattern for the wording change. So if you are interested in changing the wording on that to say "Sing praises to our Savior," then if you will let me know in one of your comments, I will share Ann's email address with you. She's been very nice to do that. And congratulations to Ann. She has expanded into the space next door to her. And I can't wait to go back to Little Rock and see how her shop has been enhanced, updated, enlarged. So congratulations, Anne. I think that's just terrific. Okay. New FlossTubers. Who have I been watching? I have watched quite a bit of FlossTube this week. Man, it is raining cats and dogs. My errands may not get done. Anyway, I have watched some new FlossTubers, and I've watched several people over the last several weeks, and I'm real bad about writing stuff down. Because if I'm watching while I'm stitching, typically I have it on the TV in the living room, and I frequently do not comment. And I'm very sorry if I've watched you and not commented, because I've always enjoyed you. But I try to have my phone or my iPad there beside me, and try to comment that way, but sometimes I just get distracted and I don't remember to do it. It's not hard to distract me. But some of the folks I've watched are Small Town Stitches. Her name is Leanne. I kind of have an affinity for Leanne because she just graduated from nursing school. Congratulations, Leanne. And started her first job as an emergency room nurse. And she worked as a paramedic prior to going to nursing school. So I think that's awesome. I did some, I was an RN first, and then I went back and got my paramedic certification so I could do some, I worked part-time as a ground paramedic for a small town EMS service to get some ground experience because I wanted to be a flight nurse. So, congratulations, Leanne. I think that's awesome. And she stitches some really cool things, so go check her out. It's Small Town Stitches. The other person I found, I think last week, and I've apparently been under a rock because I had never watched Kathleen from Kathleen's Trodden Trail. Love her. She's awesome. She's in Nebraska, I think. She's a hoot. She's got beautiful stitching. So Kathleen's Trodden Trail. I've also watched some Bird Stitcher. I think it's Bird Stitcher in Colorado. She's a lot of fun. She's an attorney, but she's got a really silly personality, and she's a hoot to watch. Then Keyx Stitch, and my mind has gone blank. I can't remember her name. It may be Shelley. I'm sorry, I don't remember your name. But again, I'm going to link all of these in the show notes. I've also watched Nikki from Kaniki's. I think she's just got the one video out, but boy, her craft room where she films just looks like it is chock full of all kinds of fun stuff. Go watch her. And then the last one I've watched is Luda. And Luda is Russian. And she's got a whole bunch of videos out in Russian, but she's also done some in English now. And beautiful, beautiful stitching. I watched one of her videos about stitching the 1/1 because I haven't done 1/1 for a Mira face in a long time. And I am planning to do that for the skin on Lady of the Flag. So I watched that video. Found it very helpful. So again, I will link all of these below. But I am almost at 30 minutes and my throat's getting dry and maybe the rain's letting up. So I need to get done with this. So a couple things left. Last week we had this turkey pattern, which is Delivering Plenty from Homespun Elegance as a giveaway. And I just asked folks to comment on the turkey, and I say, you know, I want to stitch the turkey. And pardon me, this morning before this, I used a random comment picker thing, and the winner is Stitchy Rebel. So, Stitchy Rebel, I will comment on your comment when I get this uploaded. I'm guessing with the rain, that may be quite late today, if not tomorrow, because my internet speed here in Nowhereville are not remarkable to begin with, and when the weather is crummy, it's even crummier. But anyway, I will comment on your comment. All of my contact information will be in the show notes. Get in touch with me, email me, Facebook me, Instagram me, however you want to. 2 ways are better than one, like Chelsea always says. And I will get your address and get this in the mail to you. And then last but not least, this is Things Unseen from Lizzie Kate. And it is all 3 pieces. This was a mystery sampler that came out in, I think, 2016, although I might not be correct about that. Maybe it was 2015. But this is all 3 parts. I've just got them in one envelope. I do not have the embellishments anymore because I have used those. I finished this back in, I don't know, early spring. But there is a sale going on for this right now, hosted by Stephanie from Just Keep Stitching, and I think Christine from Stitch All the Things. So I thought this, I've stitched it, I framed it, it's hanging up. I don't need the pattern anymore. So if somebody would like to join in that sale or would just like to have this pattern, if you will just tell me I'd like to stitch Things Unseen, then the term I will use to search when I do that random comment picker is Things Unseen. And again, I'll do that random picker thing, and before my next video, we'll draw a winner for this. It is a beautiful, beautiful pattern. And I love the sentiment, which says, the best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. That's a quote from Helen Keller. And I just think it's lovely, and it, expresses the truth. It's not always about what you see or feel or, hear or whatever. It's what you feel in your heart. So, and I feel you guys in my heart all the time. I love doing the videos. I love the interaction with the comments and stuff. And I appreciate all the love you've shown me. I rolled over 1,400 subscribers yesterday or this morning. And again, I'm just absolutely amazed that 1,400 people would sign up to listen to me blabber about cross stitch. Can't believe it. But I appreciate all of you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming to visit with me. And I wish you all a wonderful, blessed week. Lots of great stitching time. Y'all have a good week. Take care. God bless y'all. Bye-bye.